Hello there, Gia.
Hello there, Keisha. How you doing?
I'm good. America, world, Portugal. Uh,
Yeah.
we were just talking about supergroups of what the 70s, 60s,
I
70s,
guess we're
80s.
talking 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
If
and
any of those went on to the 80s, maybe just 70s. Yeah.
yeah. So we had Derek and the Dominoes, Cream,
Yeah.
Blind Faith, and
Traffic.
Traffic. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you probably should be grateful that we did that before we hit
We
record
got it out
because
of our systems. I was
yeah.
mainly trying to figure out who the hell Dave Mason was.
And I don't
And
think he deserves to be talked about in that tone.
jeez, you're planting your flag there, huh? This is where
Yeah, this is the hill I'm going to die on. We just disagree. Solid song, right, America?
and
Anyway,
it's an apt sentiment for you and I because we really do.
sometimes we
And so
butt
many
heads.
like a couple of mountain goats, like, you know.
A lot of people would probably like to smash our skulls together.
I know. Sometimes I'd like to. Anyway, no, I'm going to go to the show. I'm sure I'm going to have a glowing report about Dave Mason, but I'm still going to be
Okay,
like, I'm still going to feel like the Fabulous Thunderbirds should have been the
should have
headliner.
headlined. When is
Yeah.
this concert?
It's like first weekend of April.
Okay. All right. I was thinking, if you're gonna come up here at some point, I was gonna send you like the concert schedules for some of the places around here in
Oh
case you
yeah, that'd be cool.
go to
Yeah,
something. So, all right.
yeah, yeah.
Anywho, and if Gia comes up to Maine, everyone we will podcast together.
Yeah, but remember we did that before, and it was so awkward to be like in the same room talking to each other, but trying to be
Yeah.
on. Like, let's do it from separate rooms, though.
Okay. Okay.
And your dog was eating all the dead
Oh,
flies, and
all
I
the
was,
flies and that
yeah,
bothers
we're
me.
trying to talk, and your dog's over there like, you know.
I think, well, I
And I
think
don't mean
she's
like
eating
a fly. I mean
right.
like
No, it's a lot of flies.
yeah, because we went into a room that wasn't used much, and there were all these
Yeah.
sky raisins piled on the floor, and the dog just was like, the dog was like, "What a delicacy," you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
she knows a nice snack
yeah.
when she
Yeah.
sees one.
Anyway,
Anyway,
speaking of
okay.
podcasts, like, you want to talk about
Well,
General Hospital and
all right,
how much
let's
we
yeah.
hate Lulu right now?
I was hating Lulu. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be alone in that because I understand her position, I think, but it really is Brooklyn's business, right? It was her decision, difficult,
I mean,
painful decision.
Lulu was on such a high horse. I mean, that horse couldn't have been
Yeah.
any higher. That horse had smoked so much marijuana that that's the highest horse I've ever seen. And
Okay.
gosh, I hope she doesn't fall off but
Yeah.
and any time that um, Lulu starts, you see her kind of having a moment of empathy. You know, the
Yeah.
minute she leaves that space and she runs into Dante, she's going to be like, "Nyam, nyam, nyam, nyam," you know, it's going to be
Right,
like,
right. Yeah, she's gonna completely forget Brooklyn's trauma.
and I don't like, I might have some sympathy for her if I felt like it was truly an altruistic thing about
Yeah, yeah.
Dante, needing to know that he has a child out there.
Right.
But would she be this wound if it were anybody but Brooklyn?
I agree. Yeah, I don't think she would care very much or
Yeah.
wouldn't think it was her business. Definitely not her secret to tell.
Yeah. And
Uh,
very reminiscent of the Robin, um,
yeah.
Michael, Carly, Jason, Sonny
Mhm.
thing
Yeah.
of what, 20
Yeah.
or 30 years ago or whatever that was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I just jumped right into today's episode. Sorry about
No,
that.
that's okay. That's okay because I that was kind of at the forefront for me too. Just watching Lulu being so harsh, really, and it did seem like she was being a bit hypocritical, acting like she could weigh in on somebody else's decision, when
I
nobody
will. I
wants
will.
that when they're
Oh,
making that decision.
are your dogs having a problem?
No, something happened to it. Was there a
Oh,
weird noise?
maybe I'm feeding back or something. I was hearing a weird noise. Um, it's gone now. Anyway, I will say though that I thought that was a great scene. It went on a long time, but
It
I was
did.
pretty riveted by it,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
I thought both women were great. You know, they kind of went through a whole roller coaster of emotions,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I liked their exploring that topic. They both. I don't
Mhm.
remember that Lulu had an abortion in high school. Do you remember that?
Not really. No.
Whose child was it? Do we have any idea?
Mm,
Whose pregnancy was that?
no,
I
I
don't
don't
know the
remember. I don't
proper way
remember.
to say that. Um, yeah, so I don't remember that, but so anyway, I thought that was like they're sort of paralleling that. And
Mhm.
here's, she went one path, Brook
Yeah.
Lynn went another path.
Yeah.
And so that was just an interesting exploration, and it did give Brook Lynn a moment of pause to,
Uh-huh.
but it
Yeah.
was like, how could she not immediately think about herself in that situation and go, okay, I'm going to respect what
Yeah.
this other woman has chosen and how,
Yeah. Right. Right. And definitely Brooklyn's pain was real. I mean, you could tell that she had suffered making this decision, you know? And I think
yeah.
Lulu could see that. I mean, it wasn't like Brooklyn was faking all of that.
No,
So,
I know their animosity towards each other is, or Lulu's animosity towards Brooklyn
yeah,
is weird.
yeah, it runs very deep. And I think Brooklyn would have given her a chance. Like they would have been able to, work together and everything if Lulu didn't keep kind of like, digging in,
Yeah,
you know
she
what I
just
mean?
keeps prodding
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, and, like, not really doing her job and all of these other things, she doesn't seem to have any real respect for Brooklyn. She just dismisses her as this spoiled brat, you know?
Yeah, and so I wasn't sorry when Brooklyn went to the Rocco card and said, pointed
Yeah,
out that
yeah,
Lulu has been an absentee mother even now that she's, back amongst the living.
right,
Um,
definitely fair to say that.
and then Lulu's like, I can't believe you would use a child against somebody. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you- but
right.
yeah. So
I know. It's gonna be
anyway,
very hard to like Lulu for a while, I think.
but it was good soapiness, and I was like,
Mhm.
it was good soapy, foamy soapiness.
Yes, yes, it was. Uh-huh.
Um, and they've brought us around with this storyline. Like, remember when they first sort of pitched the idea of that Geo might be her baby, long lost baby. Like, we're going
Yeah.
with it now. Is what I'm trying to get to. We're kind of
Yeah, we
we're
have
on
to.
we're on. Yeah, well, we have to, of course. But I mean, I'm believing it. You
Yeah,
know.
they've kind of really thrown more sort of emotion and everything into that storyline now, so it feels a little more substantial, I guess, and slightly less manufactured.
Right. Right.
What did you think about continuing with today, Dante and Maxi's conversation?
Um. I thought that Maxie wouldn't have accidentally revealed
Yeah.
that. Yeah, is that what you were after?
Well,
Revealed that Lulu had broken into Martin's hotel room. She's savvier than that.
definitely
Um,
savvier than that, so she must have wanted to talk about that a little bit,
yeah.
you
Oh, I
know?
just found out who. Whoop. No, no,
What?
I was looking up. I'm trying to figure out who Lulu was pregnant with
Oh, okay.
after a
Uh-huh.
one night stand with Dylan. Dylan.
Dylan. Okay, Dylan Quartermain,
Oh
right?
yeah. Whose child is Dylan's? Tracy's? No.
I think is it? Yeah, I think
Terrible.
so.
After one night stand with Dylan, Lulu learns she's pregnant, decides to terminate the pregnancy. Lulu's brief united. Huh. Okay, well, let's
All
look up
right.
who Dylan on General Hospital. God, everybody out there is like, what is the matter with you people?
Why do you have a podcast if you remember nothing about the show? That's a
Dylan
good question.
Quartermain. Dylan Quartermain, son of Tracy Quartermain and Paul Hornsby. Okay,
Oh,
now that I'm
yeah.
looking at him,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. All right. Why do they never mention him anymore?
Because he's on another soap, I think.
But why wouldn't Tracy be mentioning him ever as one of
I
her kids,
know. I know.
And
Once in a while, his name comes up, but yeah, it's very, very
and
rare.
so he's
Um,
Ned's half brother. He never gets mentioned in that
yeah.
way either, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Ugh,
yeah, he was a filmmaker. Family's
right.
black sheep. Complicated romantic history with Lulu Spencer. Later falls for Kiki Jerome. Oh yeah, okay.
Mm,
It's coming back to
right.
me a little bit.
Kiki. Miss Kiki.
Or Kiki, yeah, she was nice. Anyway, okay. So conversation with Maxie. Yeah. Well, I guess it was good that she told him that Lulu was still in love with him because maybe that'll
Yeah.
help something. I don't know. Or not.
Right. Right. And yeah, I think it's good that Dante knows that she wasn't gonna stay with that other guy. Is his name Dylan too?
No, what was it? Jesus, we are having a day. Man.
I know. I guess it doesn't matter, but the guy who died.
Yeah, he didn't last long.
No,
The
he
teacher,
didn't.
he was a teacher, right?
He was a very decent guy, right?
Yeah, I was about to say he was very milk toast, but decent's good.
Sometimes they seem like the same thing, but that's too bad. There's nothing wrong with being a decent guy.
Now, are you doing something like, are you shredding paper
Am I
or
making a lot of noise? I'm sorry. I didn't think I was. I'm just trying
are you
to like.
working on a parade float or
No, is it making a lot of noise now?
not right this second, but a few moments ago, I couldn't decide if it
Okay.
was me having feedback or you
Oh,
moving.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stop moving things around.
What do
It's
you got
just
going? You
adjust.
working, got, like, are you gift wrapping?
No, I'm just moving my computer. It keeps slipping, and then I've got Vinny right here
I
now.
was gonna say,
So
is it propped on top of a dog again? Is that what's happening?
sometimes that is the case. Not currently.
Yeah, all
Uh,
right. It's no
okay.
biggie.
I'm
Just
very sorry. I'll,
no,
I'll be
no worries.
motionless. Okay.
Um,
Um,
I did also wanted to say that Maxie is like back to whatever, like her high school size or something. She's so
yeah.
tiny now.
Yeah. Wearing her Levi's, looking good in her
Her little,
Levi's.
yeah, she looks fantastic. She looked fantastic before too, but I
Yeah.
once again I feel like should that be addressed as part of the plot on the show when somebody like transforms their body so much? I don't know. I feel
I guess
like
it never really is it? Whether they're gaining weight or losing weight, it doesn't
yeah,
seem like it
I
ever
don't
comes up.
I know, and I don't want people to be like, God, I can't believe she's so like obsessed with Maxie's weight. And I'm not. I'm just thinking like
Yeah.
we go through the lives of these characters on a daily
Yeah.
basis, and I feel like if
Yeah.
that was something that character did,
Uh-huh.
um, like could they incorporate it somehow? I
Right.
don't know.
Right.
Could they or
Yeah.
should they? I mean, I guess that's sort of the ethical question. Like, you certainly
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be somebody like saying, like, "Gosh, you've really put on some weight. Are you okay?" Or, like
Mhm.
that wouldn't be
Mhm.
cool. But
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she looks like so transformed.
Mhm. Yes. Yes, she
Anyway,
does, Chia.
but
Yeah.
I'll move on from that. I liked her little outfit.
Yeah, me too. And I guess it's they're not considering that part of the character. That's part of the actor, I guess, you
I
know.
guess so, right? And in you don't want to invade an actor's privacy,
Yeah.
and or like certainly with women, you're not gonna like be
Mhm.
like, oh, you're putting on a few pounds, or oh, but it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
It's it's just an interesting thought. Like, could you incorporate that? I was watching. I'm still making my way through comedians in cars drinking coffee,
Uh-huh.
which is Jerry Seinfeld, and he's takes people for rides, and they really discuss the craft of being a comedian. And
Okay.
anyway, he had Julia Louis Dreyfus on one
Uh-huh.
episode, and they were
Uh-huh.
talking about Seinfeld, and she had various pregnancies during the course of the show,
Huh.
and she said one regret she had was that one time when she was quite pregnant, they wanted to write it that she got fat and somehow work that into the.
Uh-huh.
And she said, certainly not, certainly not. And then later she was like, she regretted that because she thought that
Huh.
could have been a great opportunity somehow.
Somehow, yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting. Huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I don't know. But you know how, like, it is weird when the pregnancies that happen on all kinds of shows and suddenly they've got a ginormous handbag or, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Or they're
Unless it's a
always behind a
character who,
counter. Yeah.
right. Mhm. Yeah. Oh
Anyway,
well.
I'm off topic a little bit there, but
Okay. That's okay, Gia.
what else did we have? We had the huge scene at the crypt.
Oh, the whole crypt scene. Yeah. And that Emma, I mean, I guess she's useful. She's being useful right now, sticking up for
Yeah,
Tracy and everything, but she's so in your face, you know. She's such an aggressive person that I still have
she
trouble with her.
is. Yeah. I was thinking that, like, oh, okay, she's getting out her phone and, gonna document this. And then I thought, I wonder, the writers must be more like our vintage because nobody's
Mhm.
gonna watch anything that went on that length, you know.
Right,
Like,
right.
she needed
Yeah,
to get a sound bite and put that on TikTok and that's it. But so she,
yeah.
like, nobody
Mhm.
nobody would watch a 10-minute thing unfold um
No,
to
maybe
get
she's
to
gonna
the.
edit it down later to a nice
Yeah.
tidy little sound bite.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, she is in your face.
Yeah.
None of that, excuse me, was enjoyable particularly.
No, it wasn't because it's not that interesting, is it? You know, regardless
Mm,
of whether the crypt is on, town property or private property. I don't know.
yeah, it's not very sexy.
It's not
Um
sexy. It's not soapy.
Crypts
It's
aren't sexy.
no,
You
as
do
a
kind of
rule.
feel where you think like, gosh, I wouldn't want to be moving the remains of my parents either. That's,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
s-
And it
um
does seem like just Drew being an asshole again,
yeah,
mostly.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So, but yeah, not really enjoyable. A lot of time was spent on that. Pulled a lot of characters into it.
I know, it was like suddenly everybody was there.
Yeah.
Jordan gets pulled away from her
Oh
little
yeah.
sexy
Well,
time.
that's backing up. We did. I think that was
Yeah.
Friday that the Jordan Isaiah romance took a little step forward, right?
Yeah, it did, and I don't know, I
How'd
feel
you
like
like that? The face mask scene was the beginning of that.
yeah, well, I wanted to like it. I like both of those characters. I feel like there should be some chemistry between them.
Yeah, but you're
I
not
don't think
feeling it.
Well, I don't think they're writing very good lines for them. And it seemed like that was especially true on Friday. I thought it was like she was a little bit like cool, and maybe it was just because she knew she was in sweats and stuff and just like got caught off guard, but it was just sort of like there wasn't much to work with there.
Yeah, and I
Um,
don't like seeing her sort of. Like, I like her as a very self-possessed,
yeah.
confident,
Uh-huh.
um, she was, like, the head of the she was a police commissioner, and now she's,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
having her be like, "Oh, oh, no, don't look at me and my face mask," felt very like they were trying to make her act like a college age girl or something, and it was.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't see that I don't see that in her character really, and if it were in her character, I wouldn't like it, It would be like,
Yeah, yeah. It also seemed weird that somebody would just stop by. I don't think people really do that anymore. you
If they
know?
do, I don't like them, whoever they are.
I
Like,
don't either. I can't have drop-in visitors at
I
this
mean, yeah,
house.
and as we've said before, I don't even like an actual phone call is a
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah,
so
right. You wanna text if somebody's thinking about coming over, but
yeah,
they definitely don't have the green light yet to come
right.
over.
And a text before a phone call even,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because that ring is startling,
It is.
and
I know, it makes me throw my phone more than pick it up and answer
yeah.
it.
I have one friend, one drummer guy that he's just old school and he'll
Yeah.
call like driving on his long drive home from work, and just like,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Oh,
checking up
yeah.
on Friday. And I'm like, like, and I have
Yeah.
to answer. I mean, I can't, it's like, and I've even said like, I like texting because then we can look back and see,
Yeah, you
what
have a
time
record.
things we have a
Uh-huh.
written record. And he's like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way. But the calls persist.
Yeah.
I
Ay,
should.
ay,
Why am
ay.
I? I'm such a jerk. I should be like pleased that anybody wants to call me, shouldn't I?
Well, no, no, no. I feel the
No,
same way. Somebody called me earlier and I was like, "What is she doing calling me?" But
calling. I
also
know.
another older person, so,
Yeah,
probably and I think I don't know if she must have a cell phone, but this was her landline, so, of
yeah. That's
course,
a dead
texting isn't
giveaway. If
allowed.
somebody even
Yeah.
has a landline, like
Right, right, yeah, you're
I could
dealing with
never get my parents to not answer the phone.
Uh-huh.
Like even my dad was like barely able to get out of a chair, and he's trying to get to up. Like
Get to the phone.
yeah, like just let it go to the machine. Like
Yeah, it's funny,
uh,
it's true, it's true. I
like
think now I think more older people are better at not answering the phone.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. We
they've
just
been
don't do
schooled.
business that way anymore. But anyway, yeah, I'm with you on the sort of I want to like them together.
Yeah,
Um, I like pasta.
I do
Uh,
too. Sure, sure.
sure. So I was like, but even that was like, they have made that more interesting? Like she had nothing there, but oh my God, he made such an impressive. Like, couldn't they have had
Meal,
a little quirkier amount of ingredients? Like maybe you had to do something with a can of tuna,
right?
or
Yeah, yeah.
something a little harder to work
Uh-huh.
with. Like anybody can make, spaghetti. And she was acting
Spaghetti.
like it was like, oh my God,
Yeah,
it's
I know. It didn't look like it was much more than just plain spaghetti, maybe with a
yeah,
little
which
something
I'm not
sprinkled on
knocking
it.
it. I would probably
No,
I would
sure.
knock you down right now if there was like a bowl of pasta behind you and I like
Yeah, I would
yeah.
fight you for it.
Yeah, the low carb thing sometimes equals just a general overall sadness.
Despair.
Um
Yeah, I can feel the despair. I
I
think I
feel the
think we all
despair.
can. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, we just brought everyone down because Gia doesn't get a lot of carbs.
I've tried to cut carbs from my life because apparently after you're 50, carbs just a
They're
single
they're not
carb
your
equals
friend.
10 pounds apparently.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you still doing the barley?
no, I haven't been, but I have like another doctor's appointment kind of. I got to coordinate doctors so they all have the same blood because that I fooled that last one and now I'm gonna have to do it again. So whenever that appointment's coming up, like a month before that, I'll be hitting the barley and the
Hitting the barley. Okay.
yeah
Yeah.
the barley and what was my combo last time? Barley, sweet potatoes,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
almonds seem to do the trick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
alright.
no, I went
Good
back
luck.
to my evil ways. Butter, cream.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
like
dear. Oh, dear. I I don't I can't imagine that's better than the occasional carb, but, you
well,
do you,
here's the
Gia.
thing. You can have fat and no
Yeah.
carbs, or you can have
Uh-huh.
no fat and have some carbs. You can't
Uh-huh.
do fat and carbs because that's you will. you,
Oh, sheesh.
but yeah, before that, I will go back on the barley. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
back on the butter is so good though. Love
Oh,
butter.
sure. I know it is. I miss butter.
and cream in my coffee. Oh.
Yeah. I get
Anyway,
I get
um,
yeah.
I was talking to a neighbor who just revealed that he had, this isn't funny, why am I laughing? But revealed that he had some form of cancer, and he was talking
Oh,
about what the doctor wanted him
that
to.
is funny.
I know.
No, it's
So he was
not, it's not.
it's not funny, but he was talking. I forget what I said, something about something I was eating, and he was like, he said, "Well, that can cause cancer," and he's holding a cigarette, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
when people are talking to me with a cigarette in their hand, they say anything about, well, that's not good for you. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah, yeah. Big asterisk by
yeah,
anything they say.
yeah, like go ahead and smoke, but don't be talking to me about what's good for you.
You're
Let the yeah,
you're no longer in the running for my life coach.
yeah, you're just being silly.
Being silly. That's funny.
uh,
Maybe that's what
anyway,
he was
okay,
trying to
damn
be.
it. Where were we? Oh, Isaiah and
Yeah,
what's her
and
name?
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know they wanted to be cute with the face mask and everything, but yeah, I think like
Yeah.
you, the magic is not there yet. Maybe we
No.
can work on it.
And that's not quite the way to start the magic with her being feeling all awkward and like, she's not feeling at her best if she's, in her sweats and stuff, like
Yeah, I think they were like hope maybe they were thinking like, oh, she'll be so cute because she'll be caught
yeah,
off guard and not be in
yeah,
her like professional armor. But it's like, why
right.
can't that be sexy too? Like to me,
Right.
that is the sexy that
Yeah. Yeah.
she's a pro and she's a
Mhm.
grown up, and
Right.
we don't have to reduce her to something sort of air quote girly to.
Yeah, nicely
I don't
put,
know.
Gia.
Do you like the air quote? I have to say it because you can't see it.
I can't see it. I don't know if I would have sensed it.
Would you
I
have
guess we'll
felt the
never
air
know.
rush by the microphone? Yeah.
I might have. It might have, although it might have been blocked by all the despair that you're exuding due to the lack of carbs.
The lack of carbohydrates, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, all valid points.
Yeah. And so that continued into today a little bit, and then
Yeah,
there was that
yeah.
moment where like, oh, will they not continue because he objects to her trying to catch Sidwell?
Yeah, so already
Mm.
there's yeah, it just feels like I don't know, they're not doing them any favors really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I
Anyway,
think you and I are in the same place on that, where like we want to
yeah,
be on board, but we're
yeah.
not feeling it yet.
Not yet. Maybe we'll get there.
Oh,
Um,
I know another Friday thing we haven't talked about, I don't think, or did we start talking about
Alexis?
Sidwell and Alexis and the dagger?
Yeah,
We
the
did
dagger.
talk a little bit, yeah, but
Last week we talked about the history of the dagger. That was on Thursday. But yeah, we didn't talk about her telling him where that dagger was, what it meant, and that it was supposed to be in the bottom of the harbor, right?
yeah, and I'd forgotten. So it was Helena that
Yeah,
used the dagger to murder her mother. Okay.
yeah, in front of her, man.
Why does he need her fingerprints? That was how that scene ended, was him getting her to put her prints
Oh,
on it. And then
yeah,
what's he
yeah.
doing there?
Is he going to use that as a weapon to kill somebody?
And frame Alexis? Who's he killing?
Yeah. Who would Alexis
Well,
want
who's he
dead?
trying to we think he's trying to kill Sonny, right?
Right, right. Hmm. Yeah, interesting. I
So
don't
that
know.
was that was a little baffling to me. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Poor Alexis, just having to relive that, like with this smug scumbag,
oh,
just
he's so
being like,
schmarmy. He's just the
you know,
schmarmiest schmarm.
yeah. I don't know. That
Yeah,
was
he's
that was
yucky.
bad. He is yucky, very yucky.
And I
Um,
also, again, the props department. I don't know what a really expensive.
that
You
didn't
do
look
know
like
where I'm
it.
going with this?
Well, yeah, I was talking about the craftsmanship and everything, right? It's like,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really. I mean,
I don't know what they could have done to make it more. I don't know what a. I'm not a knife person. Apparently, knife people are insomniacs, because that's when I see a lot of
Yeah.
stuff
Oh
selling
yeah, yeah.
knives.
All the ads for knives, yeah, in the
Yeah,
wee
in the
hours.
middle of the
Yeah.
night. Yeah, because that's, I guess,
Uh-huh.
when your judgment is a little bit skewed, and you're like,
Impaired.
yeah,
Yeah.
I need that knife
Right, right.
for
Yeah.
just 4 easy installments or whatever it is. Um,
Mhm.
but
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't find that knife impressive. I felt like maybe if it had a
No.
larger hilt, or like a, is that what it's called? The hilt, like a maybe ruby encrusted.
Yeah, it seems like it
Um,
would have needed some gems or some sort of
yeah,
like engraving, or like a I
yeah,
don't know.
something on
But
the shaft. I just wanted to say shaft.
I you really leaned into shaft. That was like 3 syllables.
Yeah, or maybe if it had had some, like some like scrimshaw kind of element to it or something,
Yeah.
or
It looked kinda like a fancy letter opener in a way,
yeah, it didn't look large enough to be all that imposing either.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh, but,
I know. I
okay,
get caught up on the smallest, most inconsequential details. I know.
well, I was hung up on that too. I mean, maybe not for as long as
You
we've
didn't
taken
put,
to talk about it,
yeah,
but
you didn't put as much thought into how you would change that.
I put a little thought in it was more like a eye roll, like, "Oh, come on." You know, "Try harder." Um, but, yeah, anyway, I was just uneasy just having Alexis there with him and that knife between them. I just thought, "Oh, gee,
Yeah,
this
but
feels
she doesn't
fraught."
really know. It doesn't seem like the details about Sidwell's past are
Have
out
trickled back
totally.
to her? Yeah, I
Like
guess not.
Laura knows, Jordan knows,
Right,
obviously,
right.
Lucky knows, and obviously
Uh-huh.
those people know. But I guess Alexis wouldn't have reason to know that stuff yet.
I
I don't
guess
know.
not. I mean, she has dealt with him and she delivered papers to him, right? Was that
Yeah, but yeah, I was thinking
something?
like she wouldn't have any reason to say I'm not going to come out and meet you on
Yeah,
a creepy island, and
I guess
um,
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But it
huh.
was kind of a good scene in spite of the
I guess so.
letdown of the knife, the dagger.
Yeah. Well, and so if she probably he acted like maybe she misremembered where she had left the knife, right?
Yeah,
Um, and she said she remembered how the heft of it and that was it.
yeah.
That's a
That
good
sounds dirty too, doesn't it? Really, like anything you're saying
right,
about this sounds dirty.
the heft of the knife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But imagine having that skill and applying that heft to other things just for a minute.
If you're remembering the heft of anything, you probably had a good night.
Yeah,
Like
and that would come in handy if you needed to say identify something in a
yeah,
lineup. You would have to
yeah.
say, I just need to hold it for a second.
I'll remember the heft. I don't think it works that way.
No? Okay.
I
I don't
know
know a lot about the
it's
police
a
world.
shame, isn't it? But people will be like volunteering for lineups like crazy.
Maybe you could tell them that that's what we're doing in this lineup
It's
and
like,
then
yeah,
say, "Oops, sorry, I was kidding."
yeah. Just kidding.
Put it back. Tuck it in.
Please. We go off the rails at least once a night here. Um,
Yeah. Um,
anyway, yeah, so something's up there, obviously. Sidwell's a bad guy.
yeah,
We all know that.
Sidwell. Right, right. Getting back to today a little bit, we found ourselves in Buenos Aires,
Yeah, yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah, I did like seeing Valentin again.
Yeah.
Um, I liked the little goodbye between Valentin and Anna. Anna had a great line, and of
Mhm.
course I'm gonna misremember it. He said something like the hours? Was it the hours that you thought you loved me were some of the
Yeah,
best? And she said something like, I didn't think I loved you. I
I
loved you.
loved you. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very nice.
And
Yeah.
that was nice. And I thought,
Mhm.
how great was that? Like, because if she'd said, I did love you, it wouldn't have been as powerful. It was just, I loved you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Right, right, right. Exactly. I was thinking exactly the same. I was hoping that's what she was gonna say and
Oh,
not,
I didn't know I liked it until she said it, and I was like, why is that? That was so much better than I did love you or I do love
yeah,
you. You know, like the
right.
economy of it was kind of
Yes.
perfect. Yeah.
It was Gia. Yes. Yes,
So
it
some
was.
satisfaction for us there.
Yeah, and it made me really want to find a way to get Valentine safely back to Port Charles and, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
back in the cast. You
I
know?
know, yeah, because I'd forgotten that I liked him, and then it was like, oh right, he can be intense. Um,
Yep, he can be intense. And I think I liked also that he was finally realizing that Charlotte
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
safe with him, you know.
and even all their mutterings in French were kind of
Yeah.
sweet, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like Charlotte. Charlotte is so great as a girl that age, I think.
Yeah. She seems like she's got so many layers, you know, in her
Yeah,
expression. There's something so deep there.
and she just has that perfect sort of teenage awkwardness going on.
Mhm.
Um, they've got some strong young actors now, like Rocco and Danny. I thought were great the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yep,
Um,
they're and they both look so like such the sort of boys that girls would have crushes on, you know, at that age.
yeah, yeah, they definitely look like the real deal. I mean, the only one, of
Yeah.
course, is poor what's his name,
Aiden.
Aiden. Yeah, like imagine if he'd walked in there, like, hey guys, what are you talking about? You know, like he just can't. He wouldn't be able to pull it off. But those two are the right age, I think.
They have that same sort of fresh expression, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like
But
they
anyway,
believe in
Charlotte.
their
Yeah.
dads and stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sweet. They're sweet boys. And
Yeah,
we know Charlotte's of course, like possessed and everything, but
right.
she's got that vulnerability and that little round-shouldered like
Yeah,
don't look
yeah,
at me. You know, like when you're a young girl and people start looking at you
yeah,
because you're starting to grow up and get a
yeah,
shape and everything and you're like, you don't
yeah.
want you can't take people looking at you, you know.
No, you kind of want to be invisible for a while
Yeah,
till you,
and she's
till you.
she's got that going on, and I don't know,
Mhm.
she's really good. So I hope she's gonna join
Yeah,
the cast again and be
yeah.
present a lot. And it cracks me up. She's still like, I don't not going with Anna, like I don't blame you.
That had to hurt Anna though. She's like,
Yeah,
"What the
yeah,
fuck do I have to do, kid?"
yeah,
But Jason was good, you know, when he sort of spoke up for Anna and said that, you know, she wouldn't hurt her father and she was probably trying to save him, you know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So,
I know Jason like turning into the whole like moral and ethical center of the show is just bizarre.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I felt no hint if they were gonna have Jason and Anna rekindle their little spark
Mhm.
on this trip, I didn't feel it or see anything that
No, no, I guess we were imagining something that I guess maybe they had no plans to pursue.
maybe that was just a one-off, as I like to say, the
You
kiss.
do yeah,
Yeah.
you do like to say that. Yeah, I'm
And I
glad
was
you had
thinking
an
like,
opportunity to say
I
that
know,
today.
thanks. Thanks for indulging me. Um, I was thinking as they sat in that car,
Yeah,
Anna and Jason, that
uh-huh.
they looked weird with that light on them, I thought
Yeah, I know, I thought that
and they look
too.
weird, and I thought, "Here's 2 beautiful people that have been made up
Yeah,
and had a team." Like, imagine how I would look in that. Like, their faces looked all lumpy or something.
yeah.
And
The light
they're
was
2
yeah,
absolutely beautiful people in real life.
yeah,
Um, so
it
I
was
thought,
too
don't have them kiss again now because they both look lumpy and weird. I didn't
no,
want that.
no, it was a weird lighting, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, what was it maybe supposed to be the dashboard lights?
I guess, yeah.
Paradise by the dashboard.
I don't
Would
think
we get in
that's
trouble?
healthy.
Would we get in trouble for singing a little bit of Meatloaf? Like, would we get
I think we
flagged or
should get
something?
in trouble for singing a little bit of Meatloaf. Although we do a nice Dave Mason, everyone. Sorry you missed that before we hit record.
No, that was just you. That was you.
We were both singing, don't you deny.
No, I meant I meant yours was good. Mine wasn't good.
Mine wasn't good. This is the kind of argument we have.
Yeah. No, you do a better Dave Mason.
We both suck at it.
When this whole thing happened with the Dave Mason Fabulous Thunderbird, I went out to my husband. I was like, "Who the hell's Dave Mason?" He's like, "Didn't he write Classical Gas?"
Oh, come on.
Do you, do you remember that instrumental, that like
I
classical
do.
guitar? It's just
Yeah,
like,
I
how
do.
old are we? And I'm like, no, that's Paul Williams. And then we're like, no,
Wow.
which is
Aren't
also wrong. But it's
I know.
Mason Williams, I think.
It okay.
So we all had
Okay.
like an element of it, but not enough Prevagen to put it together.
No,
Like,
no, right, and then there was also wasn't there, like, Walter Murphy? You remember that guy?
oh, that doesn't ring any bells. What'd
He
he
did
do?
like a he did like a classical, like a riff on, like, Beethoven or something, Walter Murphy. Anyway, I
It
don't
was
think
the
he'd be
Wild West back on the radio in those days. Like,
it was, yeah, it was a real mix,
do you remember that nun that had the like hit? What the hell was that?
I don't
Do
know.
you remember that?
I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. Talk about General Hospital for a minute while I find this hit. You'll
Oh,
know it.
no. Oh, geez. What else was there
How
that
can
we
I look it
didn't
up?
talk
Pop
about
Star
yet
Nun song.
in the what was that, the 80s? Would it
Oh
have been
no,
the
this would have been the 70s or 60s.
70s? Okay. All right.
The Singing Nun? Maybe it was the Singing Nun?
Um, could have been. Can I ask you a hospital related
Yeah,
question
yeah,
while
I can
we're
multitask with the best of them. Yeah.
okay. Well, getting back to Lulu, Brooklyn, Dante, Geo, all of that. And we also had
Yeah.
all the whole debate over like even Ned got into this about like why the
Oh
quartermaids would be
yeah.
helping
Yeah.
Geo. And obviously Lois had her reasons for picking Sonny, knowing that he's ultimately, related as well, I guess, right? That's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you think Dante will react? I guess will he
That's a wild card. I mean, no, I have no
yeah,
idea.
I don't really know either. I mean, I want to believe he'd be compassionate towards Brooklyn. And I feel like there are plenty of instances where it's the woman's decision, right? I mean, a woman doesn't always have to involve the father
You
of the
mean like
child.
legally or just sort of ethically?
Just kind of ethically, I guess. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. If you're talking about two teenagers,
Two teenagers. Yeah. Um, I would think the parents would be thinking like, yeah, you're doing him a favor by not telling him, like,
yeah, I mean, in most cases, you would
yeah.
be, right? I mean, even Dante, who's, definitely father of the year material,
Yeah.
um, and would have
Yeah,
stepped up.
I don't know where I'd come down on that. Um, ultimately you'd think, wouldn't it be lovely I guess it depends on if it's a one night stand kind of thing and it's some
Yeah,
guy at a party and you
right.
don't even, know his last name.
Yeah,
Well, are are you obligated to find him and say, here's what's going on? And
I don't
um,
think so. I
if
don't think
it's
he'd
like
want to be found if it was a one night
yeah,
stand generally. you
Right,
know?
right. Because if it's a one night stand and for whatever reason you don't use birth control or
Yeah.
it fails or whatever,
Mhm.
well then you kind of know it on some level. You know you're taking a chance of a pregnancy, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so you'd kind of have to be okay with whatever the outcome was because you chose to take that risk, right?
Right, I
Or
guess
either
that's true,
one of
yeah.
them, either one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Um,
But I
if they
think a
both
lot of
knew.
guys a lot of guys would think, well, ultimately, it's her responsibility because she's the one who's gonna be carrying the baby.
Is it responsibility or decision?
Um,
Are
well,
you saying that like the guy should know the the guy should know because he should have some say in it, or are you saying just as like a courtesy, like
um, I think more of a courtesy. If it was like a one night stand, something casual, like, unplanned, if it was an unplanned pregnancy between two people who aren't in a relationship, I guess, especially, um, I don't know that she should feel obligated to share that information.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
in real life, a lot of people like a party situation, some drunk,
Yeah.
encounter. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even be able to. You wouldn't know who you like. Um,
Mhm.
but like, well, what if it's a long time like boyfriend girlfriend situation where
Then I kind of feel like you
you
would
would talk it
discuss
over.
it.
I mean, yeah, in an
Yeah.
ideal world, you would be discussing it, but I
Yeah.
think ultimately it's the woman or girl's body, and
Yeah. Yeah.
she gets the final say because
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know that I blame Brooklyn for not telling Dante, I guess is the
yeah,
bottom line.
yeah, I don't either because they make it sound like, oh well, he didn't even come back, like she left and he left, and
Yeah. Yeah.
um yeah, no, I don't. I'm not feeling blame like anywhere at the
No,
moment.
and especially since she doesn't know it's Geo. I mean, like, if she knew it
Yeah.
was, like Lois, in a way, is more at fault, I think,
Yeah, she
for
should be carrying more of and
yeah,
she is based on the
she
way
is.
her eyeballs are
Pained
wide up like
expressions,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, right.
Um yeah, I guess in an ideal world they'd all be able to sit down with all the sets of parents and talk about, what's best for you, what's best for this child.
Yeah,
They were supposed to be what, 15, I think they were saying?
maybe, yeah, 15, 16, somewhere around
Like,
there.
no, that's I mean, it'd be one thing if like, oh, the family said, um, we're gonna help you through this, we're gonna help parent this baby, you're gonna be able to finish school. Like it's not gonna
Yeah,
disrupt your life,
uh-huh,
um, if
right.
you want to have this, but I think that's a luxury that lots of girls
Oh,
in that
yeah,
situation certainly don't
definitely.
have. So, um,
Right,
yeah, I
right.
don't the decision any of those decisions or whatever is right for but yeah, telling the father or not, that's tricky. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and it's going to be complicated now, and I don't know how much in Brooklyn's mind she was thinking about how this would impact Chase. Also, it didn't
right. Oh
seem,
my goodness. They didn't even bring up she and Lulu didn't even bring up um
no, but I started to think about that, but I don't know. It did seem like Brooklyn's angst was mostly due to not being able to hold her child or parent her child, you know.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought she was really really good, really strong on that
Yeah,
today.
I did too. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, it's tricky. I don't know. Now that I'm like an old lady, I think if you'd asked me that in my 20s, I probably would have had some super judgy answer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now I'm like, gosh, I don't, there isn't a right answer. I don't think.
I don't think
Um,
so. Well, how would you what would be the best reaction from Dante? I guess we know that he would forgive Brooklyn or understand. Maybe there's nothing to forgive really.
yeah,
Understand why
understand.
he
Well,
didn't
it
tell her.
depends on if he's being told this and it's an anonymous,
Yeah,
person that but then if he's told, "Oh, it's Geo," like that, I mean,
yeah.
it's gonna
Then Lois
unfold
is
on a
gonna
lot
get
of
the brunt.
layers.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. Mhm,
it's gonna be tricky. I think the Dante we already know and love is going to be
mhm.
understanding of the position she was in. You know, he was
Yeah,
there. He knows how young they were and how not
right,
ready they were to be parents.
right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Mhm. Hmm.
I think it's gonna. I think a lot of it's gonna land on Lois, and
Yeah,
that's
huh,
that'll be rough on her. Um,
right, and it's gonna be rough on Chase too. I wonder
I
how
mean,
he's gonna
I do you
handle
think
that.
that like this could unfold that it actually drives Brooklyn and Dante together
Together.
again?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because we've got all this crap going on about he can
Mhm.
talk to Brook Lynn and he can't talk to
Right, right.
Lulu.
Yeah, it's kinda seeming like that would be sort of a logical extension of that.
Yeah. And then we know Chase is going to be so hurt
Oh,
um,
yeah.
about the
Poor
news that
Chase.
it was Dante. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's not even kind of involved in any of these conversations right now. You know, he's really like a
No, he's
fifth
not.
wheel out there.
Yeah, he
Um,
feels like he has no purpose since he can't father a child.
yeah. That's going to be. Yeah. So I could see them doing that. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's soapy.
It's it's soapy. I don't think I would mind it actually, especially the way I feel about Lulu now. I don't really think she deserves Dante.
Yeah, she's just being untrue to herself, you know.
Yeah, she's
Like
pouring a lot of energy into things where that don't require her, and she should
yeah,
be
yeah.
focusing on Rocco and stuff like that.
Yeah. I remember that when Robin did the big reveal, I
Mhm.
hated her in that moment myself
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Even though it's like, being right and doing a
Mhm.
kind like being kind are two different things sometimes,
Yeah, yeah,
like just
right.
being self-righteous and like, you know,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't know, a little bit of that going on
Yeah,
in Robin too that I never liked.
yeah,
Even-
that's
But
true. As much as I love Robin,
I love Robin too, but I mean, in that
yeah,
moment, I was like,
yeah,
this wasn't her
right.
place to shatter people's.
Mhm.
I don't know, and that's how I feel about Lulu. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right about like she should have told Dante, okay, but
Mm.
it's not your job, lady.
Yeah, and it's I guess we've probably talked about this enough, but it just feels like, as far as Brooklyn was concerned, this baby that she never met or held really went to a family she believes that gave this child a good life, and so she has to sort of buy that for her to sort of survive, and live with this
Right,
vision.
right, yeah.
So pulling Dante into it, yeah, I kind of understand why she would think that, why would that help him either, not
And I
to.
think leaving it up to the child, people do decide to go find their
Yeah,
adoptive parents, and
yeah,
that like leave the ball in the child's court. And
yeah. But
yeah,
does Gio know he's adopted? I don't think we've
I don't
saw
think he
it.
does. I don't think we
Right,
think he does. Yeah,
right. So he wouldn't know that his real parents are
yeah,
right there in front of him. But
yeah,
yeah, Lois is gonna really get
yeah. It's really gonna, yeah,
yeah,
she's gonna get raked over the coals, I'm afraid.
yeah, I think so.
All
Anywho.
right. Was there anything else big that we or small that we didn't cover? Or
I feel like there was, but I can't remember it right now. Did you get your nun
oh,
song figured out?
well, I can't play it because we'd get in trouble. But there's something called Dominique. I'll text you afterwards,
Oh, great.
or I could call you. Um, I know
Okay.
one other thing we had some stuff with Joss and her trainer. We've
Oh,
already got like,
yeah. Yeah, who she kicked in the nuts. Yeah.
yeah, that was good.
Uh-huh. That was
Um,
good. He was
she's got
asking
nice
for it.
hair,
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure.
but that was sort of the stereotypical like there's so much
Yeah.
sexual tension, and but they
Right,
hate each
right.
other, and it's like,
Yeah, I know. I don't know that I want it to go down that road for
well, I mean,
her.
has Joss had a boyfriend that stayed alive yet? Cam, Cam's alive.
Cam, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. It just
But it's
makes
a
me a little
rough gig being her boyfriend, though. He had the
that's
sex tapes.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. She's cursed maybe. Um, which is a shame, but I kind of hate thinking that she's sacrificing all of these sort of, normal experiences for this path she's chosen.
You do? I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that she's a badass, but she could have been like a cop and still been sort of a badass.
Yeah. What, you feel like
Mhm.
she's missing out on typical college experiences or something?
Yeah, and she's gonna have to like sort of close off part of her world to her friends, if she's back in Port Charles, like Trina and stuff. Maybe she will sort of figure out how to let somebody in on this, but
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. It's
It'd
not
be
going to be
hard to
easy.
lead the double existence. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So, but she's obviously capable. If anyone
She,
is,
she's
it's
terribly
Joss.
capable. One of the most capable people in that town, for sure.
Yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
well, I think that's about all I've got.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
pretty good soapy couple days.
It was, yeah, it was. And while we did get off topic, probably several times,
Yeah.
we covered some ground, I
We covered
guess.
some ground and we kept the singing to a minimum.
Yes, yes. You're welcome, everyone.
I know what it was. Wasn't it just the nun singing the Lord's Prayer? Was that what it was?
I don't remember that, Gia, but it could be, could be. Was it church you were in?
No, the point we were making was that the radio was like the Wild West in the 60s and
Yeah,
70s.
like anything goes. Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
goes, like classical guitar hits, like juxtaposed with blind faith or whatever. You never knew
yeah,
what
yeah.
was
You
coming
never
next.
knew, right?
Or the streak or something bizarre or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true. All those weird gimmicky songs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gimmick songs all the time. And so I think
yeah.
there was a nun singing the Lord's Prayer. I'll find it. I'll text you. Don't worry.
Thank- Thanks. Oh boy. Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, that's all I've got. That if you're
Yep.
good, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm good. I hope
Okay.
everybody's good out there.
Yeah, we hope
Okay.
so. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk in a few days then.
Yeah. Okay, Gia. Bye
All
bye.
right. See you. Have a good night.
You too.